Okay, so we're here early on at Data Center World, and your stand is busy. So tell us why, assuming you haven't bribed people to come here, what is it that they want to come and find out? What are you doing?
Well, last year we saw a huge increase in sustainability messaging, right? People consuming more and more power as it goes. I think the big driver this year, and why we're so packed, I've never seen it this busy again, definitely come back next year, is around GP utilization, around different locations, countries who are really driven in, for example, sustainable energy sources, natural cooling, etc. So I think as AI, next-gen AI becomes a prominent feature in the data center space, I think customers are really intrigued to see what Technimove do. We've launched our data center consultancy services, which is specifically geared to support customers in finding the right data center facility for them, and then us help scale, deploy, as well as migrate their existing data center space. So it's an interesting topic, and it's keeping us very busy today.
And in terms of the AI, I mean, have you launched a specific sort of AI-focused service, or is it just another sort of service you've added to your existing portfolio? So what is it that you can, if you like, help people with on that AI side?
We absolutely have. So, when we're having those consultative conversations with clients, it's not just about moving to the potentially next closest location. It's about analyzing what is your future use of Gen AI, what is that power consumption requirement, what are you trying to achieve as a business, and that allows us to direct the customer to the correct location. It is new to our service, but I think it's a modernization of our existing services we've been delivering for 26 years.
And just quick, in terms of the AI, there's sort of a science on it too. There's the large language models, so that's the huge, we're talking gigawatt data centers, which is at one level.
Yep.
And then finally the edge, which everyone's been talking about for quite a long time. It would appear that AI applications are going to start hitting edge centers. So do you have a particular cross-section of customers, or are they all looking at the large language models at the moment? What are you seeing?
It's quite interesting. What we are seeing is the hyperscalers growing, where AI is still very expensive for your enterprise clients. You've got a lot of test and dev going on, a lot of R&D, specifically around the insurance and financial sector, to maximize and speed up their customer outcomes. So there's still that development work, I think, happening in the enterprise space, but those hyperscalers are gearing up. So a large quantity of our customer base is those, I'm going to call them next generation cloud providers. And that's where our biggest significant growth is at this point. Edge will follow.
And in terms of, again, the customers, I think you said, is it right that most of them are still working out? Because I mean, AI, the hype's unbelievable. We've seen it with cloud, virtualization, and in those cases they didn't deliver for quite a while. Are we similar with AI? So people are saying maybe even they've tried it and they didn't quite do what they thought it would. So is it very early, or are people confident? So. What's going on?
If I look at our systems, we've deployed 5 of our net new systems this year, effectively to drive us through our next digital transformation as a business, streamline our organization. My biggest decision there to go with that AI company was the AI feature set within the software that they give as a part of the solution in itself. So, for example, if I want to click a button, I can see exactly what's happened with that customer over the last 5 years. It gives my sales team trend analysis as to what the customer may potentially do. And it just actually simplifies the conversation we're having with our customer base. So it is helping with that customer journey. And I think if you look at the CRMs or the PSA tooling, AI is what's, I suppose, directing customers to acquire those systems.
Okay, and maybe finally, you said that sort of previously sustainability was what everyone wanted to sort of find out about or implement. Is AI, one of my favourite questions, can you have AI and sustainability, or do you have to have a bit of a compromise, as we're seeing maybe geopolitically? Folks are saying, okay, sustainability good, but AI better, so sort of sustainability is almost like subservient to AI. Is that a fair characterization, or do you think the two can coexist happily?
I think the two can coexist. Right. It's the geographic location you take, right? There's no doubt the Nordics region is well above the rest of the European market. You've got Finland from an R&D perspective. They seem to be winning the DevOps side of the organizations or platforms. If you look at Iceland, another great location because of its natural cooling abilities. It's thermal power that gets driven. Then you look at Norway from a hydropower perspective, most of the data centers feed off that. So it is sustainably driven, I think. It's no lie, GPUs are power hungry. They are very, very power hungry. They're very difficult to deploy, and they're also very finicky in that sense, right? Fragile units, as we call them internally. But I think that's why, again, we've launched our own service to identify that, to still help customers with their own sustainability and reduction of carbon footprint themselves by directing those customers to those facilities.
And just finally, I promise, because you give me time, in terms of that location, are people more flexible? Because once upon a time, it was the flat D, for virtually everyone, you had to be in one of these big, huge, great capital cities or financial centres, whatever. Are people now understanding that you don't actually have to be there for some of the reasons you explained, and therefore they're more open to going elsewhere, shall we say, for their data center needs, or are you still having to educate people that you don't need to be in London or Frankfurt, you can be in Norway, Iceland, or even sort of Portugal and Spain and other sort of places that are coming up?
So we are still having those educational conversations. We are still new in the AI journey. If you have a look at how slow cloud was, then there was a drive across industry that required remote working almost instantaneously overnight. I think we're slowly getting up that, but again, that's the enterprise space. So financials, insurance sector are very nervous about moving their data out of, I suppose, the UK mainland effectively. But it'll come a time where they have to have that fine balance.
Okay, it's been great to chat, and I hope the crowds continue to come. So thanks very much.
So do I.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the time.